Hey, how's it going everyone? College Lefty, and in this video, this is the worst I've played in MLB The Show 22, so let's go ahead and get right into it. I am going to include some highlights from a couple games I played last night, but honestly, last night I played the worst I've ever played in this game so far this year. I was just not doing the little things correctly. But we are about to get a 91 overall Tops Now version of Madison Bumgarner. He's the only pitcher to hit 2 home runs on opening day. So this card will have around the same attributes as this 88 overall All-Star card, but he might have a different pitch mix. Here he had a 4-seam cutter, sweeping curve, changeup, and a 2-seamer. On his Signature Series card, he definitely has a different repertoire. He doesn't have the sweeping curve, but a curveball instead, but he also has a slider instead of a 2-seam. I would expect his hitting attributes to be maybe around 80, 85, just because it is a Tops Now card rather than a Signature Series or a specific year. But we're going to go ahead and get into some gameplay. Here in this first game, we're going up against another Twitch player, or at least he has Twitch in his name. But we're starting the game off with a solo shot from Pablo Sanchez, the creative player. And now we're looking to put up a 0 in the first inning. I went back-to-back fastballs, one outside, one inside. Not the best decision. We are playing this first game on Hall of Fame, so this guy can definitely turn on a fastball. Here we're going with another one. Try to get the confidence back up on a 2-2 count. Missed with early feedback, missed to the right of the hoop, and that's a home run. I know that was a non-PCI home run, just based off the swing animation, but still, I mean, I threw a terrible pitch. What do you expect when you throw a fastball right over the middle of the plate? Next batter, I went back with another fastball. He hits it out. So 3 homers in a row there. Definitely not the greatest way to start the ball game or a YouTube video at that. But then we get into a freeze-off situation. I threw a splitter low. It was fouled off. He was going with the hit and run. And I know there was some server maintenance yesterday, but this is also the second time in a row that I have frozen on a splitter fouled off low in the zone. I don't think that is causing some type of glitch, but I ended up losing that last one. We were losing the game anyway, so I would have quit. I kind of waited around a little bit to see what would happen, and I ended up getting one of those disconnect error messages that took me back to the main PlayStation menu. It just said, your game crashed, or please report some type of crashing of this game, and I just kind of submitted the report. I don't really know what happened, but I was going to quit that last game anyway. Started off with an L. Next game, I had an opportunity to kind of score a couple runs there in the first inning. We led it off with the perfect base hit. Missed the fastball right over the middle of the plate. I did not miss the next fastball that was over the middle, but it happened to be, next inning. But if you notice here, we're kind of skipping ahead through the highlights a little bit just because I didn't really get a ton of things going here in this gameplay. My timing was off. I was a little bit late on the fastballs or sinkers, a little bit early on the off speed. I was hitting into double plays. I just wasn't having great at bats, having a tough time picking the ball up out of the pitcher's hand. Here we can't even play defense, trying to keep the ball in front. Should I have dove for this? Yeah, probably, because the ball got by him anyway. I mean, there would have been no risk. I obviously didn't know that was going to happen. But yeah, I definitely should have, tried to make an attempt at that late jammed hit. But, he could be out of this inning. This guy's getting some seeing eye base hits. It is what it is, but I'm also not making the best pitches. I'm not having good feedback on my pitches. That's something that will affect, the exit velocities, as I mentioned in my meta video, as I mentioned when I explained the PCI penalty. And I was encountering the PCI penalty quite a bit, and it was definitely not in my favor. I was not able to get rewarded when missing with the PCI because my timing wasn't there. I didn't have the correct timing, was not squaring up the ball consistently, and we're also throwing pitches right down the middle. I mean, great spot. Bases loaded, sinker, try to throw it away. What happens? We throw it right down the middle, give up 2 more runs. Then we give up another base hit, another sinker that caught too much of the plate. Just not really good baseball right now. But we are looking to try and make this comeback. We're facing 99 overall Randy Johnson. First time facing him, which is interesting. I've used him a couple times, got a couple free wins, and he's currently resting on my team. But definitely a solid pitcher. We are now playing on all-star difficulty because I lost that last game. But ultimately, ran into a couple of good swings. Didn't really put it together consistently, though. This one, slider inside, I'm thankful that he threw that pitch. If that was a fastball, that's a broken bat, jammed, hit to the third baseman, maybe even the pitcher. But he went with a slider there. We were able to hit it out. A little bit better timing as the game went on, but take a look at that swing, right? Fastball over the middle of the plate. We're not squaring it up. And I was just making way too many, mental errors, mental mistakes. Lefty Grove was the only pitcher I had warming up to close this game out. I don't really know what I was thinking, but obviously not the move here. This is not somebody I would want to close the game out. Typically, I would want to use this guy in a long relief situation, and I think that's when I had him warming up, was earlier in the game when Corbin Burns was kind of getting lit up a little bit. But it is what it is, I made this type of mistake. Now I have to try and make a comeback. We kind of choked the game away after tying it up. We never really had the lead at all in this game, maybe for an inning or two once we hit that home run with Pablo Sanchez. But now we're down a run. We're looking to try and make this comeback here, try and get a couple good swings together. He's trying to use Steve Cishek for his second inning of work, which, kind of is a little bit risky. You don't really want to throw somebody with yellow stamina. Here he goes with Kenley Jansen. Thankfully, he threw a cutter over the middle of the plate, first pitch. That's something I did not want to miss that, and we end up walking the game off. So we did win a game in here in this video. We'll go ahead and hop into another one. I lost a little bit of footage last night too, so it was just kind of an unlucky night, right? Started off with the freeze off, end up quitting out of the game, or at least it crashed. Then we lose a game, lose the footage of a game, hop into another one, win it, get some of the points back, and then, back into it, making another mental mistake here, trying to tag up on a line drive to center. I really don't know what I was thinking. One swing of the bat, he ties the game up just like that. I mean, we had two guys in scoring position, or at least, first and second, nobody out, and we only scored one run. That's just terrible. That is just terrible baseball. But it is going to happen, right? The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I don't play perfect every single time. I've won, several hundred games this year in MLB The Show. But typically the games that I've lost, I've really beat myself in terms of just making mistakes, not putting, good swings on the ball consistently, not, playing the way I can play all the time. And one thing you can do to help prevent this from happening is making sure that, you have a lot of water that you're drinking while you're playing, you're eating well before you play. Because if you're playing this game while you're hungry or not hydrated, then your brain's not going to be working properly, and it's going to be pretty tough to stay locked in for an entire game of ranked seasons, which could take, 30, 40, 50 minutes. But that's not an excuse, right? That I did all those things. I just had a bad game, or a few bad games in a row, where my timing was just off. I was swinging like this quite a bit, but most of the time I was hitting ground balls with swings like this. We have Ronald Acuna. Thankfully, a couple of these guys have, quirks to help them out. But if you notice, I don't have any clips with Frank Thomas. I didn't really get any clips with some of the brand new guys that I was playing with because I didn't do anything with them. Frank Thomas is hitting like under 100 for me. I just didn't have a good performance at the plate. I don't think he's going to be a card that performs that well for me just based off of his swing. So I'm looking to kind of mix up the lineup a little bit, try and make some adjustments. But I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to hop into another game. It's only a video game at the end of the day. But that's going to do it for this video. Easily the worst I've played in MLB The Show 22. But we do have a couple of good things to look forward to in terms of April Player of the Month cards and the Tops Now Madison Bumgarner. Hope you have a great night, and peace out.